Hi guys, welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. If you don't know what your Moon or Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you. Equally, if you would like to reach out for a personal reading, and my diary is now open for December, that information is in there too, along with my social media links. So, come find me on Instagram and Facebook and check out my quality memes, yo. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. I've been really humbled by how fast the channel is growing. I really, really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, I hope that you find something here for you. And also, please do consider subscribing, because that would be awesome. Making a right mess there. Now, I left you out of the mid-month in November, and that was entirely unintentional. I didn't even notice until it was brought to my attention by somebody yesterday. I have these zodiac coins just here, which I use as totems for meditating on your energy. And I work through the pile of coins, to be done. And I worked my way through the coins and actually didn't bother counting them. But it seems that Gemini's has gone missing, and I don't know why, because I don't move them out of here. There's brownies or something. So I'm really, really sorry about that. And in order to try and redeem myself, I am, as requested, doing you next. So I think that's enough shuffling and enough waffling from me. So, could I have 3 cards for Gemini, please, for the month of December? Ooh, there's the first one. It's the 4 of Pentacles. It's come out reversed, which is good. 2 more cards for Gemini, please. There's the other one. Got the Knight of Swords. That's air energy. That's you. It's quite a feat to get these all straight now at this point. Right, 1 more card for Gemini, please. Whoop. We've got the Queen of Wands. That's interesting. At the bottom of the deck, you've got Strength. That's the card of Leo in the Major Arcana. So, I think this might be the first month that I've done a reading for you where you haven't had a major come up somewhere in the reading. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I said, she says, we've got Justice. I'm going to show you that because it flipped. It's the 5 of Cups. Talks about regret. But it didn't jump out, so I'm not going to take it. Okay. Why is the 4 of Pentacles here? So apparently you get 2 cards. We've got the 8 of Swords in reverse, and we've got the Queen of Wands again. That's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Female embodiment of the suit, although it doesn't have to be a woman. If you are dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius woman, she is coming up very strongly here. Right. Why is the Knight of Swords here? For Gemini, please. Where's the Knight of Swords here? We've got the 3 of Cups. That's water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Why is the Knight of Swords here, please? There are a lot of cards flipping here, but they're not coming out, so I'm not taking them. There's the Knight of Swords here for Gemini. Another Queen. It's you this time, Queen of Swords. Interesting. And why is this Queen of Wands here, please? So there's another flipper. It's the 6 of Wands, which is a Leo card. It talks about victory. Why is the Queen of Wands here, please? Take that one. Five of Cups is back out again, so it obviously did want to come out. Another flipper there. Six of Swords, that's moving away from things that no longer serve you. Why is the Knight of Pentacles? There are a lot of people in this reading here, Gemini. Six of Swords is on the bottom of the deck because that's where I put it. Right. Okay, so the first card that you have is the Four of Pentacles. That's Earth energy, but it's come out in reverse. Now, in its upright, it talks about holding on too tight to something. And this can be resources, because that's often what the Pentacles, you know, depict. Or it can be emotional situations. It can be a situation of any description, actually. You know, this is somebody who truly understands the value of what they have, but they like it too much. They hold on to it too tight, you know. And the law of attraction talks about, you know, realizing that everything is energy, including pentacles, including money, including resources, and letting it flow in and out. Because if you try and hoard it too hard, you're actually creating a lack mentality for yourself. You know, your desperate need to hold on to things is the energy that you're throwing out to the universe. And it goes, oh, okay, so less things then, fine. When you're more relaxed about it and you let it come in and out, then it starts working for you better. And that's what we've got with the Four of Pentacles here. Like, this is holding on too much. This is stopping that which you have been doing before, because I feel like it wouldn't come up like this if it hadn't at some point prior to this been this way up, right? So the energy that you are rocking now is this release. You know, it's a big release. And it doesn't mean that you're letting go of things that are precious. It means that you're not clinging to them as hard as you might have been before. You know, it's a real released energy about this. And then we had these three cards that came out to clarify. And I might pull another card anyway, because I'm quite intrigued by these queens that have all turned up, particularly the Queen of Wands, who's come out twice. The first card that you got is Justice. Now, this can talk about legal stuff. We can be talking about going to court. We can talk about signing contracts, you know, litigation of any description whatsoever, you know, signing contracts for goods and services, all that kind of thing. But for me, Justice, because it's major arcana, it talks more about like higher notions of justice. We're talking about karma here. We're talking about, you know, universal rights and wrongs, and good and bad, and just and unjust. You know, it tends to be quite a binary situation with justice. There's no grey areas. And although there's nothing on the table here that specifically talks about endings or new beginnings, I feel like the Justice card is here because you've actually, you maybe have just closed out a cycle, or you are approaching the end of a cycle where karmic debts are being paid. Not only that, you know, you're correcting your own behavior by going from this energy to this energy. And in doing so, you bring balance to your own life. You know, her sword is up right there, and you know, just mention this is the card of Libra actually as well. You know, it's an air sign card. It's your energy, but it's talking about balancing things out properly, and being that you're not clinging to something anymore. Like it's actually corrected an energetic situation that you found yourself in at some point, and it's followed immediately by the Eight of Swords, which also came out in reverse, which absolutely delighted me, because this way round we're talking about being trapped in your own head. We're talking about overthinking. We're talking about self-sabotage. You know, each one of these swords is, you know, is communication, you know, from you or to other people, you know, words, thoughts, ideas, all of those things. But somebody hands those swords to you and you plant them in the ground. You know, you make a prison for yourself in your own mind of those things. You know, and she's not really as trapped as she feels, but she does feel trapped. another card where you are wriggling free of those binds that you've allowed yourself to create in your own mind. And it's all tied in with this, I feel, because you're coming out of this energy with this. You're coming out of this energy here with this. You know, I feel like there may only be minor adjustments that you're making to your thought processes, but they're important. They're having really huge consequences energetically for you. And then we come to the Queen of Wands. So like I said, if this is a person in your environment, and I'm going to refer to her as a woman simply just to keep myself straight when I'm talking about the cards, but really gender is not important. It's the feminine attributes of the suit. So although she is perhaps the queen that implies the most movement, I would think, she is receptive energy. You know, people come to the queen for things, but she could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarian person in your environment. But if she's an energy, she's confident, she's bold. You know, she's got no issues with self-esteem. She knows exactly what she's here to do and why she's doing it. And I feel like maybe this is some of the energy that you are taking on for yourself this month. And you've already begun the process by not clinging to things that you know, that you enjoy, that you like, that you consider valuable. You know, you're letting them freely move in and out because it's energy, you know. But you're also getting out of your own head. I mean, like, these two energies here are completely counter to each other. You know, Queen of Wands lives in the moment, very much so. Out of all of the energies on the table, like, the Queen of Wands is about right here, right now. She's not looking off into the distance for, you know, like with a 5-year plan. She's spontaneous and she's ready to move. This is trapped. This is stuck energy. You know, this is not living in the moment. This is living quite often in the past and going over old things that have happened and then feeling incapable of moving forwards because you're stuck there. You've turned this upside down. This is this energy that's coming in here. I'm going to pull another card for that because I feel, as I'm talking, I feel like that's what this is. You know, she's sat there, she's poised, you know, she's confident, she understands her own worth. She's enjoying the moment as it happens, but she's ready to be spontaneous and move if necessary. Why is the Queen of Wands here for Gemini, please? I mean, we've had it clarified there by the Knight of Wands, who is also, you know, an energy of being here in the moment. Now, the Knight of Wands often gets a bad rap because he's a card that indicates no commitment whatsoever, you know. And if this is a chap who's galloping into your life, you know, that's a big red flag right there. But I don't feel it is, because he's come up with the Queen. I feel like this is just confirmation of everything that I've just said. This is about living in the moment. This is about being spontaneous. This is about not being stuck ever. And it's a card of enjoying yourself. The horse is actually smiling and it's having a really cool time. But I've just noticed that he looks slightly askance. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. But it's almost like you are surprised by the level of your own spontaneity right now. You're not frightened by it, but internally you can't quite believe that you're doing the things that you're doing at the moment. I like that. The next card you've got is the Knight of Swords, and this is air energy, so this is you know, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But of all the knights on the deck, and we've now got 3 knights on the table, this is the fastest. This is communication of ideas, of thoughts, or you know, of whatever. It's movement. It's great movement forwards. Sometimes it can be a little too fast, actually. It's a bit hasty. It kind of gallops in and delivers information a little bit too fast for people to really take it in and understand it. But it is true. And is this your energy? I think it might be your energy, actually. I mean, obviously it's your energy because it's air. But sometimes this is stuff that's coming towards you, and sometimes this is stuff that you are sending out into the world. I feel like you're really starting to get a sense of self, and maybe you're trying to communicate all of those things that you're learning about yourself to other people, because you're a Gemini and you love to speak. But the Knight of Swords also counsels about going too fast with things, you know, running before you can walk, possibly. But you've got all this fire energy to back it up, you know. I think now that you've seen your way free of this kind of mental trap, this self-sabotage, things like this, you are ready to just go. And this could be, you know, it could be going towards new employment. It could be a new way of living your life. It could be, you know, just the way you communicate with other people. Because you're Geminis, you love to communicate. So it's really funny. I went years and years and years without knowing any Geminis, which I found really, really baffling. And now, all of a sudden, I have hundreds of Geminis in my life, and they're a pleasure. You know, I love to sit and listen to them talk. And we've got the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups can have pejorative overtones, but I'm not getting any of them here for you at all. It's about coming back to those relationships that are really important to you. And I feel like you're flying back to them. So maybe you've spent a bit of time in isolation, and certainly if either of these two energies apply to you, then that would be the natural result of that. It's pulling yourself in, you know, pulling your resources in, whether that's your time and your energy, pulling them back to you because you're frightened to share it because it leaves you depleted. You know, you're kind of letting that go, letting it in and out. And here we are with you coming back to those people and those relationships that give you an underpinning, you know, that actually bring proper joy and happiness into your life. Because the Three of Cups is, you know, the cups are the vessels that hold the water, which, you know, or wine, or whatever you like, any kind of liquid is emotions. And so, whilst we've got communication and, you know, all the air attributes like, you know, conversation and intellectual, you know, behaviour and all that sort of thing, it's firmly underpinned by the knowledge that those people around you are adding to your existence, adding to your value, and they're allowing you to pick up pace and start living life, start enjoying life a little bit more than you have been of late. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is the air queen. You know, I often, well, principally, I associate her with the sign of Libra, but she could be Gemini and Aquarius equally, because she's the feminine attributes of the air suit. This is a woman who can, you know, that she does not suffer fools gladly. And she's sometimes accused of being a little bit cold, but I really don't think that that's it. I think that this is a woman who can think clearly and communicate clearly, and some people don't like that, and in fact a lot of people don't like that about Geminis, but I feel like that says more about them than it says about you. You know, this woman will come forwards with the truth at all times as she sees it, and there are no grey areas with her, just as there are no grey areas with Justice. I think you are seeing very clearly, you know, there's this clarity of thought, there's clarity of expression going on here, there's clarity of mental processes going on here, and this is all the energy that's coming together for you. I feel like there's a lot about your life at the moment that feels like it's just coming together, and it's all down to the work that you did here, you know, coming out of that energy and coming out of this mental prison, this self-sabotage that you've been stuck in here. And I also get the feeling that you're actually highly prized within your, you know, your circle, your social circle, your emotional circle. These attributes that you bring to the table are actually highly prized by the people that have, you know, the emotional basis for you as well. You know, you feature very prominently, and I think they're really pleased to see you back because you've been missing in action potentially for a little while. There's the Queen of Swords here. for Gemini, please? Queen of Swords here, Gemini. There's a Queen of Swords here, Gemini. It's like you went away and you did the work that you needed to do on yourself, on your circumstances, on your environment. Because, you know, it's the Pentacle card again. This is about resources. This is about energy. This is about, you know, time, money, effort, care, all of those things. You've taken some time to come out of the, you know, the clutching too hard and the mental sabotage and stuff like that. And you've opened out. You know, you've opened out. Look at the difference in these two Pentacle cards here. In body language and everything, you know, this is closed, this is open. This is somebody who knows that their resources, you know, will be replenished as and when they need them. They don't need to cling to them quite so hard. But it's also a card of being able to know when you need to step back and recharge and do that thing, you know, and when you're ready to come back again. Very interesting. Final card you've got is the Queen of Wands. Now, this is the second time she's appeared on the table, so she's pretty important. And I feel like if she's not a Leo, Aries, Sagittarian, you know, woman or man or whoever, and I don't think she is, I think this is your energy. This is more of the same, you know. It seems like you're really fully stepping into this in the month of December. It's clarified by the Five of Cups. Now, I feel like you've had a lot on your plate, actually, Gemini. And some of it may have been seen by others, and some of it really might not. You know, I don't think anybody's quite understood quite how hard you have worked to get where you are. We've got strength at the bottom here. Now, as much as a Leo, I love the strength card. For me, it's the sort of strength that is indicated by, you know, strength of character. And you have to work hard. You have to work through difficult circumstances to start building that real solid internal core of strength. Because it's not about, you know, wrestling bears or whatever. It's about being able to withstand the storm. It's about not going to bits when things go to bits around you, you know, and it only ever happens as a result of difficult circumstances. And this also here it's an acknowledgement of what you have been through and what you have done, and the magnitude of the adversity that you have suffered, that you are now running through. I mean, unusually for a strength card, there is water depicted on this, quite a lot of water, and they're galloping through it. You know, there's been emotional issues, and I think there's probably been big issues of resources, and there's been big issues of you know, mental sabotage and mental stuckness. And this card here is a card of regret. It's a card of, you know, some people say crying over spilt milk, but I find that quite dismissive. You know, this chap here is staring at the 3 cups that have kicked over, you know, and he's not noticed the 2 that are behind him, and the 2s are partnerships, they're, you know, relationships with other people, romantic or otherwise, you know. And it's all like, oh, he's so busy staring at this that he hasn't noticed this here. But for me, there's an energetic similarity between, I'll put that the right way, between these 2 things. You know, this is not noticing that you still have left, you know, things, but it's mourning the passing of other stuff. And this is a fear of losing things so much that you cling to them. You know, they kind of run parallel. And rather than it saying that this is what you are doing, I feel like where you're at and why the Queen of Wands is here is because this is signifying you being able to not just turn around, but actually just step back and turn sideways so that you can appreciate both. Actually, you can see what you've lost, but not grieving necessarily too hard for it. appreciate that it's been in and now it's gone, and that has affected you in some way. It's required you to, you know, draw upon these reserves of strength that you've got. But then an appreciation that these 2 cups are still here and these can be worked on. You know, these can be increased in number and filled till they, you know, till they runneth over. And then you've got the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm really, really pleased to see this here, because although it's the polar opposite of, you know, the Gemini Knight, which is the fastest one in the deck. You know, we've got the slowest one in the deck, and he's not quite as dramatic. He's not as fiery as the other one. But there's something much more methodical about this Knight. You know, there's the difficulty that you run with this Knight is haste, is things being missed because you're going too fast. You know, the countryside is a blur as he's galloping along here, and maybe things are falling out of his, you know, saddlebags and all that kind of thing. You know, he's going to turn up and half of his armour's missing. You know, got there really, really fast, but not necessarily well equipped to deal with the situation. This Knight here, he's going to go slower. It's going to take him quite a bit longer to get there than it will the Knight of Swords, but when he turns up, he's going to have everything that he needs, you know. And we're back to resources again. I feel like there's so much balance implied here in this reading. You know, we've got big notions of balance here. We've got 2 queens as well, and that speaks of balance to me. We've got this chap stepping back, and in my, you know, in my head, this is what I'm seeing him doing. He's stepping back and looking at all 5 cups, not just picking one over the other, seeing the whole picture. And this chap, he can take in all of the details. You know, I think this is you being more present in yourself. You know, what did I say about living in the moment? You cannot live in the moment if you are not physically present, energetically present, mentally present, emotionally present. You know, if you're not, you end up here like this, but you're not doing that. You're completely present. I'm going to pull another couple of cards for that. 1 card. 1 card, apparently. 1 more card, please. 1 more card for Gemini, please. All right. So, yeah. To clarify, we've got the 3 of Swords and we've got the Ace of Cups reversed. And I feel like this is talking about this. Yeah. This is slow, but this is movement. And this is movement away from this. So maybe this is talking about a relationship that you've had. You know, maybe these 2 cups, maybe these 3 cups here that are knocked over is a combination of a 3 of Swords, which is heartbreak, and Ace of Cups, which is a lack of love coming forwards. You know, I think that you are able to look at these things now, assess them properly, put them in the right place in your head, and then start moving on with something that's precious to you. And like, this could even be your own feelings of self-worth. You know, I could see that being what this is. But this is also about managing your time. It's about managing your energy levels. It's about managing the resources around you that you need, you know, managing your money if you want to be as basic as that. You know, making sure all your bills are paid and things. It's being present. And you're not sat being upset about this anymore. You know, if this is a romantic relationship, then it went south and it's been hard for you. You know, it's been really hard for you. But this could go lots of other ways as well. You know, this could be anything that you had any kind of emotional investment in whatsoever. This could be losing a job. It could be any number of things. You take it as it resonates to you. But you're coming out of that. You're not doing that anymore. You're stepping back. You're looking at all of the things. You're going, yeah, okay, that's cool. But now I'm going to live in the moment. I'm going to be entirely present. And I'm going to take small steps forwards to improve my existence, is what I think. Right, I'm going to pull a couple of advice cards for you, but it seems like you've done an awful lot of work anyway, Gemini, and I'm super proud of you. Well done. Here's some advice. Whoop. Some advice for Gemini, please. some advice for Gemini, please? And get one more. Some advice for Gemini, please. That was about 60 more. I'm not taking those. Some advice for Gemini, please. So, we have got the Lovers, which is the card of Gemini in the Major Arcana. We've got the Nine of Cups and we've got the Three of Wands. And I don't usually, and well, I don't even in this case either, read this as a, you know, romantic sexual partnership. I don't see what this is. This is a choice for me, right? And it's another card of balance because there's a 2 in it, and because it's Gemini and it's 2, it's about balance, you know. This is a choice to go forwards and look for those things that actually make you happy, your wish fulfillment, right? She's holding one cup there, and I feel like that's her cup of self-worth, that's her cup of knowing her own value, that's her cup of knowing what's important to her. She's surrounded by other cups and they're nice, you know, she likes them, but that one there that she's holding is the most important, and I feel that is her cup, right? So for me, this advice is talking about choosing to go forwards, you know, learning your lessons and taking it all on board and moving forwards for you, you know, for what is important for you. Stepping into your power as a Gemini and balancing out those 2 aspects of your nature. You need to go after this. And then we've got the Three of Wands, which can sometimes talk about travel. So it might be that you're thinking about traveling, and if you are, then the tarot is saying that that's a really good idea. You know, go out there, broaden your horizons, you know, see new things, fill your life with more experiences. But if it's not, it's about not just acknowledging inside you what makes you happy and your own self-worth and all that kind of thing, but, you know, actively going out there and shaping your life accordingly. You know, the world is your oyster, but you have to go out there and experience it. And I think that you're going to do that, Gemini, anyway, because if it's one thing that this is, you know, this is static, and then this is moving out of that, you know, get out there and experience things, but being mindful of your own energy levels and your own resources and things like that, you know. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope that there was something in there for you. If you have stuck with me this far, I appreciate it. And if this resonated with you at all, I'd love it if you know, liked the video or left a comment or something like that. And sorry again for missing you off the mid-months. That won't happen again. Now I'm aware it's happened. Do I have anything else to say? I don't think I have anything else to say, no. So I love you all very much, and I will see you for the December mid-months. Okay, take care, Gemini.